Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel. I hope you are going to have as wonderful a day as we are having here. It is about 7 o'clock in the morning. It is cool and crisp. We got down to 50 degrees last night, great for sleeping, and the weather today is looking fabulous. No humidity and in the 70s. So I hope your day is going to be as wonderful as this. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to be doing gardening today. Instead, today's video is going to be more about me and a field trip that I want to take. Some of you may realize that I retired from the Cornell Cooperative Extension in Oneida County as a 4-H educator. And if you don't know what 4-H is, it's the youth component system of the Cooperative Extension Service. So think of Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts, but we take girls and boys together. Now, every county, every state does things a little bit different, but here in Oneida County, we had an educator that taught the kids about horses. We had an educator that handled dairy, livestock, dog, poultry, and rabbits. And then there was me. I handled anything that was non-animal. So I would cover cooking and crafts and sewing and gardening and STEM. And the other thing I was in charge of was setting up the displays at the local Boonville Fair. So last July was my last official time of setting up the fair, so I have no idea what the fair looks like this year. But I did work with the kids on a whole bunch of projects, and I haven't seen those projects. And it was the highlight of my year to see the creativity of these kids and what they really can do when they put their phones down and they have some fun creating things. So that's what today's video is about. We are going to be heading up to the Boonville Fair to check out the 4-H projects. So I hope you will join me on this road trip to Boonville. Bye, family. I love you. I'll see you soon. Stay and be good.
Be careful driving. We love you.
Okay, we are here. So let me give you a little background as I walk into the building here. Pre-COVID, I put together projects for the 4-H kids called Art in a Bucket. And this was based on the Joanne donations that we received every year. So Joanne's used to donate all their merchandise that never sold to us here in Oneida County. And I would sort through all of that stuff and devise projects for the kids. And I would put them all in a bucket. So I would do about 30 buckets. Each kid would have 5 or 6 projects, all identical, with instructions and all the supplies that they need to create the Art in the Bucket projects. And it was all free to them as long as they promised to show them at the fair. So here we are in the exhibit hall at the Boonville Fair. And one of the Art in the Bucket projects that we did, we gave them a bucket and we told them to create gnomes out of their buckets. So these are their gnome creations. I love the whiskers on this one, the flowers. Now the kids that work on these projects are between 8 and 18 years old. And it's just so fun to see their creativity. Oh, this is like a baby gnome. Cool. We have a beach gnome. Sandals, we've got the ocean and the beach. That's pretty cool. But it's just so fun to see all the creativity. And all we gave them was the bucket and the instructions to turn it into a gnome. Scoot through here. This one's really cool. They did a see-through bucket with a little gnome inside and snowflakes. And we gave them no restrictions on this one. They could do whatever they wanted. challenged the kids to do Picasso faces. We gave them the paints and the cardboard and ideas about Picasso. And this is what they created. In 4-H, communication is a huge component of what we do. We really want our kids to be able to share their thoughts with others. So each of these projects that has been brought up to the fair has been evaluated by a volunteer judge. The youth sit down with the judge and discuss their projects. So the judge asks those basic who, what, when, where, why questions, along with like, what was your favorite part of this project? Where did you get the idea? What did you not like about this project? And it gives the kids an opportunity to share their thoughts with others. It's almost like a little mini interview. Because realistically, if you enjoy doing one of these projects, you should enjoy talking to the public about what you did and how you put it together. I always like to do some form of a textile project for the kids. And this year what I decided to do was weaving. And while we weren't using string or yarn, we just used basic paper. The kids were all supplied with about 5 different colors of poster board, and they were encouraged to create weaving projects. Whatever they wanted to do, they had to cut all these paper into strips and then weave them together to create a unique pattern. And it's really interesting to see the variety that the kids came up with. Some are a lot more basic than others. Again, because we've got kids that are ranging in ages from 8 to 19. But they did a really, really good job. Some of these things are truly, truly intricate. So you see this one, they had to cut the paper to about a 1/2 inch. But it takes some planning to do weaving projects. You have to plan things out, work with specific colors. This one looks like they used tie-dye paper. They didn't use the papers that I gave them. But it's a really interesting way to teach kids about textiles, the warp and the weft, and they have some fun doing it. This is pretty cool. They've got a ship. This one's actually behind glass. This one looks like they tried to do something almost like kente cloth, which is African cloth, by doing the weaving and then putting symbols in. But I think they did a fantastic job. I'm not sure which one I would vote for. Since 4-H is agricultural based and Oneida County has a huge dairy industry, we just had to do something with milk jugs. The kids were challenged to take a simple milk jug and turn it into whatever they wanted. There's a cool fish. We have an angel. This looks like it's supposed to be an elephant. We have the Wizard of Oz. Oh, this one's cute. Look down inside. There's a waterfall. Looks like maybe it's supposed to be a grotto or underneath rocks. Oh, there's a tree on the outside. That's pretty clever. I love the creativity. That's why seeing these projects is so important to me. We have the Chiquita Banana lady, or Carmen Miranda, for those of us old enough to know who Carmen Miranda was. Pig, an owl, another lady. This one looks like it's supposed to be a deer with antlers. Now what's so unique about this one, I had mentioned that we use Joanne's donations, and I would let the kids go through all the donations that we received so they could pick extra things to put with their projects. And this person actually took, these are metal, they were supposed to go on the line, they were for tea lights, or on the wall. So you put them on the wall and put your tea lights in. It was like a metal sculpture, and they decided to use them as antlers. That's what I love to see, thinking outside the box. And there's some more on this table. We have a shark, a blue monster, pretty cute. Frog. Oh, we've got a snowman. And we've got another elephant. I wish so much you guys could come up here to the fair to see these. They are so stinking cute. A few years back, I had the kids do soap carving, and it was amazing. And they really had a lot of fun doing it, because basically you can just use paper clips, toothpicks. We used ivory soap. And this year I gave them foam, floral foam. You know, the stuff that you put into the bottom when you're making a floral arrangement. And I had them carve this. And you can see what some of them have done. Some of them painted, so we've got a little penguin. That one looks like it's a vase. That's really tricky. When you start getting these thin pieces, that makes it rather unique. Some of them are abstract art. That one looks like a horse head. You've got a peep. Almost looks like an ice cream cone. This one is amazing. It looks like it's supposed to be a saxophone. Fantastic job there. Then of course we have the 4-leaf clover, which is the symbol for 4-H. A little bit more abstract. A birthday cake. This looks like a monster in a container. That one's pretty good too, 4-H. That one's intricately carved. And then we have a little house. All of these projects that are in the Art in the Bucket are eligible to win what is called the fan favorite. So you may have noticed as I'm going around here that there are vote for me signs. We encourage the public to vote for specific projects. So you can come around here and look at a project, take the number off of it, put a slip of paper into the voting box, and we tally those. And at the end of the fair, we pick the top 2 with the most votes, and they become the fan favorites. The kids really have a lot of fun with fluorescent paint, And this year, what I did was I had them paint clothing. They could do whatever they wanted. They just had to create a complete outfit. And you can see that they have gone above and beyond. Some of these outfits are just amazing. And this is what your kids can do when they put down their phones. Ooh, this one's cool. Look at the celestial things. The flowers down on the legs. Let's see what's behind here. Oh, we've got some writing on this one. But the only restriction on this project was that they had to use fluorescent paint. They could do whatever they wanted. They could use old clothes, they could use new clothes. I have a feeling most of the people went to the Salvation Army and picked up stuff. This jacket is bedazzled and has all kinds of designs on it. And then, ooh, look at those pants. Now, this isn't the end of the line for some of these projects. Some of these will also be seen up at the New York State Fair. There is a 4-H building up there, and each county sends youth projects for the public to view. And some of these have been chosen to go on to the state fair. And they get ribbons specifically saying that they are state fair worthy. Oh. It's just so fun. It is just so fun. And you know what is even more fun is when you interview these kids and you find out where they got their ideas and their inspiration. And you never know what kids are going to say. You never know. I can remember one of the judges telling me that they were looking at a project and they said, "Oh, that's a really nice little kitten." And the kid said, "You need to put your glasses on. That's an elephant." And just what comes out of their mouths is just so funny. Like I said, this is the highlight of my year, was to go through and see these 4-H projects. The 4-H clubs also have an opportunity to set up booths for themselves. This is the display that the Archery Club has put together. You can see there's all kinds of posters. There's the amazing history of archery, parts of a bow, all about Oneida County 4-H archery, archery safety. Again, these projects were judged, so you can see they get a ribbon for that. And the kids, again, they have to sit in front of a judge and talk about their projects. Now, some of these may have been used during public presentations. 4-H also does a public speaking event, and some of these posters could have been used at that. And that's where the youth stands up again in front of volunteer judges and speaks about a specific topic for 5 to 15 minutes. Communication is so important, so important. Foothills Saddle Club has put together their display for this year. It looks like the kids all did a little poster on what they've learned in 4-H and the events that they've done over the past year. There's information on how you can join 4-H and learn more about the equine club. Good job, guys. Good job. Our Dairy in the Classroom Educator also did a milk jug decorating contest this year, but unlike my project where the kids could do anything, these students had to do something based on one of the lessons that she went in and taught to them. So there could be hot chocolate. She'll go in and make hot chocolate and real whipped cream. She'll go in and make butter, and they can put that on popcorn. She goes in and makes ice cream with the kids. So all of these were based on what was taught to the Albany Elementary 4th grade students. And they have entered these projects. This is the first time that Albany has been up here at the fair. Look at that thing, isn't that cute? But this is a big thing for these students. Albany Elementary is in Utica, which is our closest city. So these are inner city kids that really never get a chance to experience and have their things on display like this. But if other schools are interested, contact the fair office and see how your school can enter projects into the Boonville Fair. And if you're not around this area, check with your local fair to see if there's something that your students can do as well. Today is Kids Day at the fair, so the Cooperative Extension staff are up here doing all kinds of activities for the kids. We've got the energy department here. Childcare is here. Marina's busy sorting out letters, I think, for little bracelets. They're decorating little shovels. And these are my teammates. We have Whitney and Taylor. They are our Dairy in the Classroom and Ag in the Classroom educators doing their programming for any kids that come up by today. So it looks like we are going to be able to see a little bit of gardening. Now these are not 4-H projects. These are gardening submissions from adults and people around the community. So you can bring your house plants in and have them judged. You can bring in a floral arrangement. You can bring in your giant coleus and have them all evaluated. We've got some more over here. Here's a nice little container. So for those of you who have never gone up to your fair, take a trip up. You might be really surprised at the kinds of things that are there. And you know, it's not just 4-H. You don't have to be a farmer to enter things in the fair. People can enter all kinds of things. We've got plants. And I'm going to scoot over here and we'll see what they've got. Well, these are all crochet projects. I entered a crochet project last year, and mine actually went to the state fair. So if you're a crocheter, show off your talents. Don't be shy. Submit things. Oh, look at that beautiful little sweater and all these mittens. Oh, there's a Bills fan. Oh, we've got some that looks like a combination of quilting and embroidery.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So you crafty people, get your stuff up to the fair. Get your stuff up to the fair. Be proud of what you do. The Boonville School is just across the street from the fairgrounds here, and the art teacher always sends a wonderful group of projects to be put on display up here at the fair. Now I know most of you watching this video are old like me. I'm 62. And we take for granted getting ribbons and stuff, but it is a really big deal for these kids to have their projects recognized and on display. So if you've got grandkids or even your own kids, I know to us it's not a big deal, but to come up here and see your project and see a ribbon on it can be really encouraging and empowering. To be recognized no matter what age you are for the things that you do is really important. And to start it with our youth just brings so much pride to their little lives. The public is also encouraged to submit artwork and photography, and they have an outstanding display this year of some really nice projects. These again are not 4-H projects, this is the public. So if you take nice photos or you do painting or drawing, again, consider showing your stuff off at your local fair. And there's all kinds of things here. Some of these projects will move forward and go on to be shown at the state fair, which for us is the end of August. It ends on Labor Day. But it is amazing what we as humans can do. And this took Best in Show, and this is rather interesting. It's not going to show up, I don't think, on my camera very well, but it's three-dimensional art. There is a back piece that is painted with, looks like the blue feathers, and then there's a piece of plexiglass. Let's see if I can come in here and show you. There's a piece of plexiglass. Oh, there's a couple pieces of plexiglass. So then there's another layer of feathers. And then the peacock itself is another layer that sticks out. So it's very three-dimensional. Very cool idea. Some of this artwork is just fantastic. Lori Van Lieshout, they're a big 4-H family, and she is a wonderful painter. She did some art classes for our 4-H members over the years. But there's just some really cool stuff here. I can't remember the last time they had this much artwork. Congratulations to everybody who submitted projects up here at the Boonville Fair. We are a talented community. All right, we are here at the fair, and I have a 4-H'er who is going to tell us about his goat project. So what's your name?
Gordon.
Gordon. And how old are you, Gordon?
8.
8 years old. Oh my goodness. Now what have you got here that you're showing today?
My 2 meat goats.
You have 2 goats. What are their names?
Airhead and Skittles.
Airhead and Skittles. And how old are Airhead and Skittles?
They were born January 2nd, 2025.
They were born January 2nd, 2025, and today I think is July 21st or the 22nd of 25. So they're about six months old. And what do you hope to do with your goats while they're up here?
We don't then have them have babies.
So you're going to breed them, and then they're going to have babies. And are you showing them this year?
Yeah.
So when you go into a show, what kind of things do you have to do to get ready?
So like you flip them up to make sure they're all clean. And when you show them, you use like a neck collar, and then you would walk them. And then how do you set them up? You set them up squarely, like a box.
Okay. So you're going to make sure they're nice and clean, and then when you show them, they have a neck collar that you
like hold on to it.
you hold on to it, so you lead them around the ring with that, and then you have to set their feet a certain way.
Yeah, you have to set them square.
You have to set them square, and then what kind of things is the judge looking for? Do you know?
So many steps they're looking on how you're doing, and three tests they're looking how the goats look.
So sometimes you are being judged, and sometimes your goats are being judged.
Yeah. But they're two different classes.
They're two different classes. Which one do you think you're going to do best in?
The class that you will the judge look at the goat.
With a goat? You think the goat's going to beat you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have to work with your goats a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you work with them every day, or how often do you work with them?
I work with them sometimes, not a lot.
Not a lot? Not as much as you should, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then do you have to clean up after them while they're here at the fair?
Some fields you do, some fields you don't. I think you do have to clean up.
You do have to clean up here? So,
Yeah.
all right. Anything you would like the public to know about your goats?
No.
No? Are these your first goats?
Yeah.
Are you going to keep breeding goats, do you think?
Yeah.
Yes. And what's on your farm? What kind of animals do you have on your farm?
We have beef cows, dairy cows, and we have a pig. And then we have chickens and ducks.
Chickens, ducks, beef cows, dairy cows,
Nothing else.
nothing else. Very good. Wave goodbye.
Bye.
Good luck, Gordy. All right, we are here, and we are going to talk to a 4-H'er about her project animal. What's your name?
Brenly.
Brenly. And what's your cow's name?
Sharky.
Sharky. How old is Sharky?
Sharky was born in October 21st, last year.
October 21st of last year. And what kind of breed is Sharky?
Milk Holstein.
She's a Holstein. And what do we have on the other side of her?
A milking shorthorn.
A milking shorthorn who's sleeping contently over there. So, what do you have to do to get your cow ready for the fair?
So, first you have to pick out a really nice animal. Not like say, oh, that one's super pretty, that's the one you want. But that could have horrible legs and it could be super fat. So you want ones that have a lot of rib, like that, the ribs. And you want them to have a nice leg and be able to track well. And sometimes you want to get like a decent sized animal. So that would work for that. And then next you would have to get grain. But first you have to actually pick out a show. And then you got to get the grain. So you got to sign up for a show. And then for feed you would want to get grain, depth charge, and beet pulp. Some people feed them something else. I don't know what though. And then you have to get hay to feed them too. And then you need your supplies and work with them and then walk them, and then you should be ready by then.
All right, and do you have to clean them before you go into a show?
Yes, you have to wash them. So you would normally in the beginning, so you'd wash them and you would have to let them sit for like 40 minutes to dry and relax. And then you have to put a whole bunch of sprays on them to make them look shiny and stuff. And then you have to wash them after. And then the next day you would just wash them because they might not have a show or they might have it. So that would what you would do.
And then do you clip them? I bet people don't realize that you clip cows.
Yes, so on cows they have long hair, kind of like beef cows, you keep their hair. But with dairy cows you want to clip them, everything except their top line, their belly, and their tail hair.
You leave their top line, their belly, and their tail. And why do you clip them?
Because when you clip them, you can see like they have more rib and stuff like that. Like when they're clipped, you can like see more things about them.
Okay. And how often do you work with your
As many times as, like, say if she's super good, you should still keep working with her and just keep working with her until you think she's really good, but then don't stop, just keep going. Because sometimes if you don't work with them, they'll get, like, they won't do that. Like, they'll just totally stop walking when you go to try to walk them in the show.
So when you work with them, you practice walking around with distractions so that when they come up to the fair, they're easy to handle.
Yeah, because sometimes at the fair there's tractors and stuff running. So sometimes so my mom tells me sometimes to so sometimes if you really wanted to like say if they're really scared or noises, you could set up fans and then walk them in and out through the fans.
So you get them used to distractions.
Yeah.
So very good. So is it easier to walk a dog or a cow?
In my opinion, it's probably easier to walk a dog, but I like walking cows.
You like walking cows? Very good. Now, have you shown your cow today?
Yes.
How did you do place-wise?
For showmanship, I got first, and then I had to go back in, and then I never got pulled for master showman and stuff like that. And then for breed class, I got second, and I also got a blue ribbon because I got first for junior. And then I went back in, and I got pulled, and I got honorable mention. And then I had to go back in, but I never got pulled.
So how long has your family been farming?
So I'm the 8th generation, and we've been doing this since 1792.
Very good. So is there anything else you'd like to say to your fans?
No, not really.
Are you having fun at the Boonville Fair?
Yes.
Yes? All right, so wave goodbye.
Bye.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today on our trip to Boonville. And I don't know if any of you follow Flower Hill Farm in Boonville, Nicole Pitt's shop. I am outside of that right now. She's on the mend from her surgery. She posted a video on that. So get well soon, Nicole. And I'm just going to give you a pan around so you can see just how close her business is to the fairgrounds where I was today. Thanks so much for joining me today. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next one. Get out into your garden and make sure you go visit your county fair. Take care.